Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be like an intermittent video in between the Indian Ridge Pinnacle Outlaw system that we just did. Little update, garage video, getting the buggy ready for the next series, which is going to be Ivy Branch with a lot of senders. So that's going to be some really entertaining footage for you guys. Things that happened on this trip. I broke my first part, which was my passenger mirror. You haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see it in Beer Can Alley. It's an upcoming video. You're going to want to check that out. It's pretty interesting. It was a frozen, muddy tundra. But it was a good time. So basically I have to remove my passenger seat and both my dash panels and the console panels just to get the wiring out for these RGB mirrors that I had. Originally I thought that was a good idea, but now looking back on it, that one is broke and I got to replace stuff. Not really such a great idea. If you're just cruising, it's pretty cool, to have them. They look cool, but it's just not going to work out. I had Kamimoto RGB lighted mirrors. They worked very well. The colors were awesome, and it looked really neat on the machine, and they worked, as mirrors do. But they're broken, and I'm not going to keep spending, $100 on a set of mirrors that are going to break. So I went ahead and did what my buddies over at the Canam Crew and Turbulence Offroad had suggested for me to get Seizmik mirrors, the lifetime warranty. So that's exactly what I did. And you know me, everything's got to be black and red. If it ain't black and red, it ain't going on my buggy. But I got the black and red Photon Seizmik mirrors. Let me show you what they look like. This is the bezels that I bought, aluminum bezels. The only thing that's in here is the factory ones, the ones that come with the machine. Well, yeah, with the machine, with the mirrors. That would be them right there. It's hard to see with this daggone light, but that's what they come with. When you get them in the box. So I got the add-on bezels. I mean, it was like an extra $30. I didn't have to mess with painting it. I didn't have to mess with painting it, and I didn't have to really do much. So I said, the heck with it. I was just spending the extra $30. I have them. Trying to get that's the mirrors themselves. Let's see if we can get this lid off of here. This is one of the most sturdy boxes I've ever seen in my life. The box probably weighs like 10 pounds. So, that is the beauty that's going on the machine. That is the the back side of it. These lifetime warranty. They claim that your cow can eat it, or you can shoot it, and they'll replace it, no questions asked. So with that, I'm just going to start getting into some of the teardown that I have to do, and I'll show you guys bits and pieces along the way. I mean, I know you guys have had seats out and the consoles out, and probably the dash panels too, so it's not really that exciting. But I'm just going to throw bits and clips in here to make it a little bit interesting and make you guys a garage video, to help bring more out to the channel, because we didn't quite get enough at Indian Ridge, the Ashland trip. Basically we cut it down, our last trip down to a day and a half. And we did that because of the current storm that we had. There was a bunch of ice and a foot and a half, 2 foot of snow that was coming. So we felt the best interest was to get out of there before we ended up getting stranded. So took out the 2 front bolts in the seat, and getting ready to take out my harness bolts back there, and then I'll be taking out the 18mm bolts in the back. I'm not gonna get really too much into that. There's plenty out there on how to take these seats out, so that's not what this is. But I'm gonna get the seat out, and then we'll get back to it in just a second. I guess I could have shown you the carnage of the mirror, huh? I'll flip you around and show you where the mirror broke at. That is the bracket right there for the mirror. And it snapped off kind of flush right there. I smacked into a tree. The only thing that saved this mirror from disappearing is this cable here. These are really nice mirrors. I'm not bashing Kamimoto at all. It's really muddy still. You can't really see it. Not bashing Kamimoto at all. They make some awesome products for affordable pricing. But for what I do, and as often as mirrors are going to break, it's just not a good solution. But I don't want to keep rambling. I'm going to get this seat out, and then we'll get on to the next step. Got the seat out, and I'm getting ready to tear the center console panels out. I'm going to have to take out this one on this side. I may or may not end up, I probably will end up taking those ones out. And then on the driver's side, I'm going to have to take those 2 panels out also. Thankfully, I'm not going to have to take the driver's seat out, but I'm going to have to do that and then take this dash panel and that dash panel over there loose so I can get the wiring out. What a nightmare just to take off some mirrors. And I'm going to get that off, and then I'll get back with you guys. What a nightmare. So whenever I originally installed these, I ran the wire in behind the dash panel, so I had to pull the whole entire dash out of the passenger side, not just the top panel, just to get this one wire right there. What a pain, dude. I guess it is what it is. You know, we're making progress and getting it done, so we get this wire ripped out and we'll get on the other side. So got the driver's side mirror off. Had to take it the whole, well, not the whole dash, but I had to pretty much I had to take all the bolts and push tabs out so I could lift it up high enough to be able to get the wire down through there. Get it all unzip tied because I had it all zip tied up nice and through there. Got it down through this bus bar, and we're finally over to here. This set of wires here. I've been trying to keep this bus bar as clean as possible and trying not to put a bunch of leave a bunch of wiring in here that is just not going to be used anymore, because if I have issues down the road, I want to know what I have going to where, and I don't want to be tracing down ghost wires. And there's not really a whole lot of room in this machine for a bunch of excess wire. I mean, I'm sure there is, but it becomes a real mess, a lot worse than what I have it, to be able to put new things in and to be able to work around and get old things out. My biggest nightmare is I like to zip tie way too much. I guess I'm really anal attentive about that. But I'm getting ready to take the terminals off the bus bar. See, this is right there is the bus bar that they're running to. Gonna finish snaking the rest of this out. I got a couple wires to get back around, and I got some zip tying to do back. So in the future I can cuss myself again because I zip tied way too much. But I'll catch you guys in a moment. Little side note, my backup light, I have a light on the back here. I'll show it to you real quick. It's dirty. I haven't had a chance to clean the buggy yet because it's been too cold. It's been below freezing since we got back from the Ashland trip. But the light switch that controls the relay used to go right there. That switch went bad, so I'm going to be rewiring it and putting it up on the dash. I think it'd be a better place for it instead of down there, because I have a spot that's available up on the dash now that I don't even remember what I took. I took something else out, and you know, so I have a open rocker switch and I'll be able to put the backup light on. But that's what I'm doing right at the moment. Basically running a new wire. This spool there. Gonna be running it right through the bus, up over the bracket that holds the steering column in place, and right over there to the rocker. So I'm going to be stripping those wires and putting a new switch in. The switch, you can get these, I don't know, I think I spent like 10 bucks or 10 or 15 bucks, and I got like 6 of them. So if one goes bad, I have more of these, and that's in a lot easier spot to get to. I won't have to tear the I won't have to tear the center console apart to be able to fix it. So that's a huge plus. But I'm gonna get that done so we can start getting this thing back together. I'm anxious to see what these mirrors look like on here. Alright, so I got that wire all spliced in and put back in the bus bar. I'll show you. I moved it's right here now, and this was an empty spot, and I just flicked that on. The light back here comes on now from my backup. Pretty simple, but I'm not going to show you in the camera too much because I don't want to blind you. But there's my backup camera. You can see how well it is. I mean, the garage is lit up pretty well, and you can still see the light. So now the only thing left to do, I got a little bit more zip tying to do underneath of the dash on the driver's side, and get all the seats and everything back together, the dash panels, and then get to see what the mirrors look like. Alright, so got the dash all back in place, all zip tied up. Got the center console back in, the seats back in. Business as usual. It's all good to go now. So the mirrors. You see yourself in the mirror. I think they look pretty fresh. Only clean part on the buggy. I desperately need to get this old girl a bath. That's what she looks like. Clean. I love it. So, got that all taken care of. What a nightmare ripping that old wiring out. Absolute nightmare. So the next issue that I realized with this past trip, I have my rear sway bar bushings are shot. I ordered some new of those from my Evotech. I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but I got a set of those. They're the black mount with the red poly bushings. I think that'll look good on here and function, you know, better than the stock one did. Another issue that I had, the biggest issue that I'm going to have to tackle this weekend, I have a pinion seal that is leaking. So I'm going to have to pull my diff out, pull the whole front end apart, pull the diff out, and get that changed out. Another thing I'm gonna try to do before our Ivy trip is I need to loosen up my exhaust, the J-Star, and get that gasket to seat a little better, because I think I have a little bit of a leak. I may try to put a different clamp on it, just to see if I can get it to seal a little bit better. But with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Next week it'll be back to a riding video, so hopefully I didn't bore you too much this week. Peace. Oh, remember, respect the climb, appreciate the view. Peace.